Suppose I'm given a circle, right? And actually, I'm given the equation of the circle like this. So the first question, the equation of a circle is given by x minus 2 squared plus, it's supposed to be y plus 4. Okay, let's just change that into y. Y plus 4 squared equals 16. Now, from this here, I can get the center and I can get the length of the radius. All right. I can get the center and I can get the length of the radius directly from that there. Immediately, I can see that the center is going to be given by the opposite sign of 2, negative 2, which is positive 2, and negative 4. So that's going to be the center of my circle. And I get the radius directly from the square root of 16. So the radius is equal to 4. Now that I have this, I can roughly sketch my circle. All right. So let's see if I do a quick sketch on this side. And let's go 2 to the right and negative 4 down. And I know that my radius is equal to 4. Okay, so if my radius is equal to 4, I can see that the circle is going to just about touch that point there. Just about touch that point and go all the way around like that. Something like that. All right, so let's see if I can draw that in there. So it's going to be around, let's say, there. It needs to go through that point there because I can see the radius is 4. How do I know that it would be touching the line at that point? Because if I can just stretch this perfectly on either side, I can see that this length over here from there to there is 4, right? And that means that the whole length, the whole diameter's length is going to be 8 because the radius is 4, right? So if the radius is 4, remember that this whole length is 4, which means there'll be 4 all the way that way, 4 all the way that way, 4 all the way up, and 4 all the way down from the center. So I can get all the other coordinates. Just give me a guideline if I did it correctly. So firstly, I know that the center coordinate, let's call it C, is given by 2 and negative 4. If I go all the way to the right here, that's going to be 4 plus 2, which is actually supposed to be 6. It's a sketch, right? So it's not really drawn to scale. And 2 minus 4 will be negative 2 on this side here. So that'll be negative 2 at that point. So this point over here will actually be 6 and negative 4 because it's in a straight line with C. And this one will be negative 2 and negative 4, which is in a straight line with C. And if I go all the way down, I know that that point will be 2. And if I go from negative 4 down, I'm going to go to negative 8. So that'll be 2 and negative 8 all the way down that way. Okay, so that's just various points just to give me a guideline on what my graph would look like. Give me a bit of a diagram that can help me understand the second part or the first part, the first question itself, actually. So, question 1, find the gradient of the radius at x equals to 1. So, at x equals to 1, it's going to be over there. And if I put a dot there, I'm going to end up with some kind of radius over there. All right, so that radius over there is what I want to find the gradient of. Now remember, the gradient formula is given by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and you need 2 points. I've got the center C, which is 2 and negative 4. I've got the x value, which is 1. How do I get the y value? So to get the y value, all I have to do is substitute it back into the formula. So question 1, I'm going to sub x equals to 1 into the original formula. And once I've done that and I substitute x equals to 1, I'm going to get 1 minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 16. That's negative 1 squared, which is 1. Minus from the other side becomes 15. So y plus 4 squared equals 15. And then I square root both sides. So y plus 4 equals plus minus the square root of 15. Y equals 4 plus minus the square root of 15. Getting me two possible solutions for y. All right, so if I put it on a calculator. All right, so this is going to be 4 plus the square root of 15. We're going to get two values here. We're going to get the first one is going to be 7.87 if I plus it. And if I minus it, it's going to be 0.13. Okay, 0.13. Now, but by the looks of that looks like it should be a negative number over there. So let's double check this. This length is supposed to be 4. And we want x equals to positive 1. So I put positive 1 in there. And I got 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Squared becomes 1. Moved over becomes 16. 16 minus 1 is 15. The square root of 15. And I'm supposed to have a negative 4 over here. Okay. So that's where this changes slightly. So here we're going to go. We're going to go negative 4 plus the square root of 15 would be negative 0.13. And negative 4 minus would be negative 7.87. So if I draw a line all the way down there, I can see that the other point would be here at the bottom over there. So now I have the y value, which I know that this is going to be not applicable. This is the y value we want. And I have the exact coordinate now, that coordinate that I'm looking for to do question 1, to find the gradient, right? Given two coordinates, I know what this coordinate is now. This coordinate over here is going to be given by 1 to the right and negative 0.13 is the y value. So I have two coordinates now which I can find the gradient. So therefore, using the center, 2 and negative 4, and 1 and negative 0.13, I can find the gradient by using the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So negative 0.13 minus negative 4 over 1 minus 2, like that. It looks like it's going to be a negative number as well. Negative 0.13 minus minus 4 is plus. That comes to 3.87. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So it becomes negative 3.87. And that is the gradient of the radius at x equals to 1. And the gradient will change of the radius will change if you move the radius to any other point over there. All right, so that's question 1. My gradient done for that. All right, let's go to question 2 now. For question number 2, I need to find the equation of the tangent. So that's given by y equals mx plus c. So if I want to find the equation of the tangent at that point, what we do need to know is that, or we need to remember that if you have a tangent and a radius, they will meet at 90 degrees, right? They'll be perpendicular to the radius. Tan perpendicular to radius for a circle theorem means that that's going to be 90 degrees. And it helps me because the gradient of the radius is equal to negative 1. So therefore, the gradient of the tangent must be equal to positive 1 because of m1 times m2 equals to negative 1 rule for perpendicular lines. So this is equal to positive 1x plus some c value. So y is equal to 1x plus c. And all I need to do now is substitute that point at which they meet over there, which is 1 and negative 0.13. So I'll put 1 in there, and I'll put negative 0.13 in there. It'll become 1 plus c. So negative 1.13 will be my c value. And therefore the equation will be given by x minus 1.13 to 3 significant figures or 2 decimal places. And I've now rounded it as well for that. Okay. How's that? Is that okay? All right.